Hi there, thank you very much for watching this video. So in this video, I'll be continuing with the course teaching this tuning which I discovered recently within the last 12 months, which I'm not sure what to call it yet, but it's tuned to starting at the bottom string here, which is at the top string for normal guitars, which is C sharp, and then the F, and then which is the A, and then the A again, and then the C sharp, and then the F at the very top. So the very top string, this one here, normally that's the bottom string, but it's now been tuned to the top string, and the top string on the normal guitar, this one here, is tuned to the bottom string. And so they're tuned in thirds, and in between, in the two middle strings, we have the interval of an octave. So I'll just tune that now for beginners who haven't watched the first videos in this series as regards how to tune this guitar in this tuning. So I'll just play the A. And then the octaves below that. And then for the next string up, I'll call this the fifth string. So that needs to be one semitone up. So I'm tuning in unison. I'm playing the third, the third here, the major third, on the fourth string, and I'm making sure that the fifth string is unison. And I'm playing the major third on the fifth string, and I need to make sure that the sixth string is in unison. And then for the first string here, which is the bottom note, I need to make sure that that's 2 octaves below the fifth string. Similarly, for the second string, I need to make sure that that is 2 octaves below the sixth string. So now we have the 6 strings in tune. We've got at the first string, we've got the bottom C sharp, and then we've got the F, and then we've got the A, and an A, and then we've got the C sharp, and then we've got the F. So the benefit of using this tuning is that because we've got these major third triads in the bottom 3 strings, and also in the top 3 strings, that means that we can have these triad chords in any harmony that we like in the bottom 3 strings and the top 3 strings. So we can have, let's say, chords in the bottom 3 strings and then the melody at the top, or vice versa. We can have the chords in the top strings and then the melody in the bottom. So I'll just give a demonstration of that now. So we can start off in the key of C major with the chords in the bottom 3 strings and the melody in the top 3 strings like this. And then we can pick out the bass and add some kind of melody in the bass by just picking at the notes in the chord like this. And as well as that, we can play the chords on the top 3 strings and then play the melody in the bottom. And once again, we can pick out the actual notes in the chords on the top 3 strings and then have that as a counterpoint to the melody in the bass as well, like this. And so because what we have here is quite a distinctive tuning, because it's divided into two distinctive parts. First of all, we've got the 3 strings at the bottom which are tuned in major thirds, and then we've got the 3 strings at the top which are tuned in major thirds as well. So we can create chords in the lower half, or we can create chords in the upper half. So that lends itself to chord and melody type playing, whereby we can have one part playing the chord and the other part playing the melody. So it lends itself to quite a distinctive methodology of playing which I've devised. So what we're looking at here is all the harmonies that are possible, but unfortunately as regards this particular table here, it's missing out the actual 7th chords. But besides those 7 chords, this table here displays the harmonies which are possible. So if we look at this table here, on the left hand side we've got all the 12 keys. We've got starting at the top left corner there, we've got C, and then C sharp, and then D, and then E flat, and then E, F, F sharp, G, A flat, A, B flat, and B. And then if we go along the top there, across horizontally, then we've got lower, the word lower in uppercase, which is included in the square brackets. And then we've got the word upper in uppercase, which is included in the curly brackets. And underneath these 2 words, we've got the notation 0, 1, 2, and then M0, M1, M2, and then we've got 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2. So what these represent is 0 represents the tonic inversion. So with 0 we have the major tonic inversion, and then with the 1 we have the major first inversion, with the 2 we have the major second inversion, and then with the M0 we have the minor tonic inversion. M1 is the minor first inversion, and M2 is the minor second inversion, and then with the 3-0 we have the diminished third tonic chord, and then we have 3-1 which represents the diminished third first inversion, and then we have 3-2 which represents the diminished third second inversion. So all those in blue underneath the word lower are played with the bottom 3 strings like this, and then all those in purple underneath the word upper are played in the top 3 strings like this, like that. And then underneath those then we have the numbers going across. First of all, from left to right, we've got in orange 11, 3, 6, 11, 2, 6, 9, 3, 6. So those are the fret numbers. So if we want to play the 0 chord of C, which is the major tonic chord of C, then this means that that is the 11th fret. So we need to go up 11th fret here, and then we need to just play the chord of C, which is, if we look at the very bottom there, there are these kind of orange hatching lines. So what these represent are the 3 strings for the chords. So for example, if we look at the column for the 0 for 11, so if you look at the very bottom there, we've got the 3 vertical lines and the 2 horizontal lines going across. So the 3 vertical lines represent the 3 strings. So the rightmost string of the 3 represents the lowest string of the 3. So for the lower part, the lower chords, this is the first string, and then as regards the one in the middle, this is the second string. The one which is at the third, which is at the leftmost of the lines in orange, this is the third string. And as regards those green circles, so what that represents is that if we read from right to left, so first of all, it's the 11th fret, and then the one above that, which is the one in the middle string going down vertically, that is the same fret, which is 11th fret again. And then as regards the one on the leftmost of the 3, that is just one before the 11th fret, which is the 10th fret. So this is the tonic chord, because this lies underneath the 0 column, which is the tonic major chord. So that's the tonic major chord. And then if we go one along to the next column, which is the one underneath the number 1 in blue, so for the key of C major, so that is the 3rd fret. So we go to the 3rd fret, and then we go down to the very bottom. And so as regards the one on the rightmost of the 3 vertical orange lines, it's this one here, this is the 3rd fret, and then the next one up after that is the orange line in the middle, which is the one before the 3rd fret, which is the 2nd fret. And then after that, the leftmost of the three is on the same fret as the third fret, so it's this one here. So that is the major first inversion of C major. So I won't go through every single chord in that table because, as you can tell, there are loads and loads of different chords, both in the upper part and as well as in the lower part. But suffice to say that as regards the upper part, which have the numbers in green, so for the tonic chord of C major, which is number 3, so it's the third fret here, this note here, and then after that it's the third fret again, and then after that is the second fret. So that is the tonic chord of C major. So even though this table shows that there are loads and loads of different harmonies and chords that we can play using this configuration, using this tuning, with regards to the actual configuration of the notes that are played on the fret, I wouldn't say fingering because the fingering is different between the lower part and the upper part, if for the same chords. But the actual configuration, the actual notes that are played on the frets are exactly the same. So basically they are just exactly the same chords on the strings. Then it's a lot fewer than it looks. How much fewer? Well, we just need to memorize 12 chords, and these are the ones showing here on the screen. So the first chord that we need to memorize is just the major chord. So as shown in the hatching, we start off going from right to left. So as regards the bottom note, it's the one on the right. So as regards the major chord, let's say it starts off here, and then the next one after that in the middle, it's the one in the middle, and then as regards the one on the left is the one just before that. So this is the 0th inversion chord, which is the major tonic, and then after that we have the minor chord for the 0th inversion, which starts off on the same fret, and then we go one behind, and then after that one behind. So this is the minor 0th inversion, or the minor tonic inversion, and then after that we have the diminished third chord in the tonic inversion, or the 0th inversion. So it starts off on the fret, and then one before that, and then one before that. So this is the diminished third in the tonic inversion, or 0th inversion. And then after that we have the 7th chord. So this isn't really a triad, it's the 7th chord, or the dominant 7th, is made up of 4 notes. We only have the first 3 notes of that in order to give the sound of the 7th chord, or the dominant 7th. So this starts off, let's say, on the fret, and then we go one above that on the same fret on the next string, and then we go 2 in front. So that's the 7th tonic inversion, or 0th inversion. And then we go to the next row. So for the major first inversion, this starts off on the frets, and then one before that, and then back again to the one in front of that. So this is the major first inversion, and after that we have the minor first inversion, which starts off on the frets. Then next one is on the same fret, and the next one is above that, just by 1 fret. So this is the minor first inversion, and after that we have the diminished third first inversion. So we start off again on the fret, one before that, and then 2 in front of that. So this is the first inversion of the diminished third chord, and after that we have the 7th first inversion. So this starts off on the fret, then it goes 2 in front, and then 2 back again. So this is the 7th first inversion, and then we go to the bottom row. So we have the major second inversion, which starts off on the fret, and then one in front of that for the next string, and then the same fret for the next string after that. So this is the major second inversion, and then after that we have the minor second inversion, which starts off on the fret, and then one in front of that, and then one before that. So this is the minor second inversion, and then after that we have the diminished third second inversion, which starts up on the fret, and then after that the next one above that is 2 in front, and then the next one after that is one before. So So this is the diminished third second inversion. And then finally, for the 12th chord, we start off on the fret, and then 2 before that, and then on the same fret. So this is the 7th second inversion. So we just need to learn these 12 chords and then apply them to all the different frets, and that'll give us all those chords we saw in that table just now. So how many chords precisely? So we've got these 12 chords here. So if we times this by the 12 keys from C to B, so there are 12 keys, so that gives us 144 chords. And then we've got these two parts, the lower part and then the upper part. So 144 times 2 equals 288. So this gives us 288 chords that we can play using this guitar tuning. So finally, I'd like to mention, as well as the methodology of chords that I've devised for this guitar tuning, I've also devised a methodology of notation. I think this is like really quick, and this relates directly to this guitar tuning. So earlier on, when we looked at that table with all those different keys and all the different harmonies, then we saw that we had for the chords which are in the lower part, in the lower 3 strings, these were represented using the square brackets, and then for the chords which were in the upper strings, the top 3 strings, then these are represented using the curly brackets. So when we look at this notation here, which starts off on the top left with the C1 in the square brackets, this indicates to us that this is the first inversion of the C major chord. So from that table, we know that as regards the first inversion, then that is the 3rd fret here. So this is the chord that we need to play. And then so as regards what notes of this chord that we need to play precisely and when, this is indicated by the underscore, the hyphen, and the caret symbol after the letter small letter D. So after the C1 in these square brackets, we have the small lowercase d, which is the do. So we need to play the note do in that harmony in the C major in that chord. So as regards the do, it needs to be played in the upper string, because as regards the lower strings, these are all reserved for the chord of C major in the first inversion. So as regards do, it's this note here. So that's do in the first inversion of C major in the upper part. So we need to play this as the melody note. So the upper part is now used for the melody, and the lower part is used for the chords. And as regards the chords, it starts off with the underscore, which is the bottom string, and then the hyphen, which is the middle string, and then the caret, which is the top string. So this is what we play in the first bar. So as you can tell, this is based on the tonic solfa notation. As regards the bar itself, we have the vertical line which represents the bar line, but that is divided in the middle using the colon. So we've got 2 parts there, and as regards each half, that is divided in the middle using the full stop or the dot. So we've got first of all the first quarter, which is this, and then we have the next quarter. And then we have the colon, which is the divider for the 2 halves of the bar. And then the next note after that is the so in the key of C major, which is this note here. So that is so. And then we continue playing the accompaniments with the underscore, the hyphen, and the caret. And then we move into the next bar, which is in the tonic F major chord, which is this one here. So we need to play the mi, which is the M in lowercase after the F0 in square brackets. So the mi, or the M here, represents the mi in the key of F major. So this is the mi, which is the major third in F major. And then we get to the semicolon, which is the divider for both halves of this bar. And we go back to the first inversion of C major, which is this chord here, and then the next note, which is the lowercase s, is the so in C major, which is this one here. And then after the s, we've got the equal sign. So the equal sign means that this is a persistent note, so we just play and then we leave it. and that's the end of that particular bar. And then we move on to the next bar, which is in the harmony of the second inversion of G major, which is this chord here. And then we play the te. So in the tonic solfa, we've got the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and then when we need to flatten the T becomes a te. So this is the te in the key of G major. And then after that, we go back to the first inversion of C major, and then we play the mi again. And then after that, we play the do. And then we go on to the next bar, which is the second inversion of G major. And this time we play the so, and then the so in G major is. And then after that we have the do in the first inversion of C major with the equal sign, so that this is a persistent do. And then in brackets we have the words to coda. So when we play this the second time round, then we need to go to the coda, but this is the first time round, so we'll just continue and ignore that for the time being. And then we get this double vertical line followed by a colon, which in normal music notation means that this is the beginning of a repeat. So we need to do a repeat at the end of this section. So the next chord after that is the first inversion of C major, which is this again. And we need to play the so, and then so again. And then we've got the second inversion of G major, and we need to play the te again. And then te again. And then the first inversion of C major, this time the mi. And then here we have the S, and then the underscore, and then the hyphen, and then the M in lowercase, and then the caret. So this, we've got the triplets being played in the chords in the lower part or in the bass, but then we have the two quavers in the melodic line, the so and then the mi. So this sounds like this. And then moving on to the next chord, we have the second inversion of G major, and this time we play the S with the equal sign with the persistent so of the second inversion of G major. And then we get to the colon followed by the two vertical lines, which means that this is the end of the repeat section. So we need to go to the start of the repeat section, which is the one after the two coda in brackets, and then after the two vertical lines and the colon, we get to the first inversion of C major, and then the so, and then so again, and then the second inversion of G major with a te, and then the first inversion of C major with a mi, and then the so and then the mi in the quavers, and then the triplets in the bass, and then the second inversion of G major with a so in G major. And then we've come to the end of the repeat section, and then after that we have in brackets DC al coda, which means da capo al coda, which means we need to go to the very beginning again and play to the coda. So we'll just go to the very beginning again at the very top. So it's first inversion of C major, and then do, and then so, and then the tonic inversion of F major, and we need to play the mi or the major third in the key of F major, and then back to this first inversion of C major, and we need to play the S or the so, and then the second inversion of G major, we need to play the te, which is the diminished seventh of G major, and then the first inversion of C major, we need to play the M or the mi, and then the do, and then back to the second inversion of G major, we need to play the so, and then back back to the first inversion of C major, we need to play the Do, and this Do has an equal sign after it, which is a persistent Do. And then we get to the to coda in the brackets, which means we need to go to where it says coda in brackets at the very end there. And this time it says C0 in square brackets, which means we need to play the tonic chord of C major, which is at the 11th fret, this one here. And then we need to play the Do as well. So this is the tonic chord of C major. And then we need to play the Do as well, which is this one here. So it sounds like this. And the reason why we have the 3 there after the D is because this 3 indicates that all 3 notes in that chord needs to be played in that tonic chord of C major. So previously, for the chord, we had the underscore, hyphen, and caret. So we don't have that here now. We just have the numeral 3. So the 3 represents all 3 notes at the same time. So it sounds like this. So that's about it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. And I hope to see you next time. Until then, look after yourself and have a nice day.